I want to share with you a story that I often tell my clients, my Reiki students, about how I ended up really zeroing in on Reiki. And I also teach Qigong, which is similar to Tai Chi. Tai Chi is a form of Qigong, it's a physical form of energy work. But I started out as an angel healer, and that came about because, I always have used my intuition more than my reasoning, which has worked okay for me. It's not what everybody does, but I rely on my intuition. And so I was a massage therapist, the muscles, the bones, the joints, stretching, very physically oriented, and I really wasn't interested in energy healing. That popular word woo woo was a big one for me. I didn't want to be that. I wanted to be taken seriously, more towards the realm of medical physical therapy that a lot of massage therapists aspire to. But I kept I got a little bit interested, I guess, in like astrology and tarot cards and angel numbers and that sort of thing was circling. And I thought about it and I dismissed it. I thought, Lisa, you're not going to be an angel healer. But I went to get it out of my system. There was a class that was coming up like in a couple of weeks, very close to where I live. And so I thought, you know what? I'm just going to go see what that is, get it out of my system so that I can stop thinking about it. And when I went to that class, I was blown away. Angel healing, as it turns out, came very naturally to me. I couldn't believe how easily I could, sort of see images. We would sort of focus on the body and get stories and ideas would come popping in about how that person was hurting or what they needed to do to heal, etc. So I was immediately in love with angel healing. And I took all the classes. There were like four levels, I think, and I took them all as soon as I could. And I worked my way up. I got to be like sort of in with the teacher. And so she was assigning me to help people. We had to do sessions and we had to document them, just chart everything that had happened. And then the students would send their journals to me, and I would have to go through and sort of feel into the session and ask them, how did you know that was happening and what did you do to resolve it? I had to supervise them. At one point, I even got to take over a couple of the classes, and I just loved it. Then all of a sudden, this teacher, it came up one day, I forgot how, well, my supervisor said that in my sessions, I was channeling the devil. And I was like, channeling the devil? Oh my goodness. I got really scared because I had been doing so good all this time. And I thought, channeling the devil, that's getting a little out there. And so I went above my supervisor in the class to our teacher and I said, so and so told me I'm channeling the devil. She told me that my supervisor was correct, that I was channeling the devil. Anyways, things went downhill from there. I was not invited to things anymore unless I could get on board. I didn't really know how to get on board because I felt like I was doing the same thing that I had been doing all along. Anyways, that whole thing sort of dissolved and some other tough things happened in that group. But the point is, I was not doing any energy work for maybe 2 years because I was so frightened that I would channel the devil. I knew I wasn't channeling the devil, but I also didn't know what to do about it. And so eventually I came upon some book or teacher or something that said everybody works with energy in a different way, and you have to find your way, and you have to listen to your, as we say, your true self, your inner self, your higher self. And I thought, part of angel healing was learning to listen to your intuition. And I knew that my intuition was not telling me that I shouldn't do energy work. So I took a Reiki class because Reiki is one of the more, I guess, known, common, basic ways that people begin to work with energy. So I went like back to the beginning. And Reiki is very body based. Um, Parts of Reiki were developed according to like the Western medical system, in a way, and then somewhat on the Chinese system, like still having to do with the organs, the energy of the internal organs, etc. It just felt more grounded to me, more basic, that then once you learn to feel the energy correctly from a place of breathing and groundedness and not being up here with with the angels. Don't think I have anything against angels. I 100% believe that there is angel energy. I know that there is. It's just that I think you have to be very grounded in your physical life before you go whirling around up there and up there. A lot of people think of it as something up there, out there, higher, up there. Energy is all around us. Energy is through our bodies. Everything is energy. And when you learn Reiki, and even more so, I wanted to learn Qigong because even more so, you learn to cultivate the energy within your body to cleanse and clear and balance your energy body that runs through you and around you up to heaven, down back to the earth, through to the other side to heaven, but also through your physical body. You don't do as what's called the spiritual bypass and forget all the normal things about life that human beings do and try to live up there as this like good spiritual person channeling angels and afraid of the devil. So that's what I'll say about that right now. It's why my practice is grounded in real life. My teaching is grounded in real life. How does that feel in your body? Where did that come from? Doing the EFT tapping, which is another mind body method based on energy practices and sort of Western positivity concepts, but working with the energy of the body. So if you've ever had an experience like that where you got a little weirded out because your energy healing went off the rails to some weird place, I like to keep it here very real, very grounded. And even if you haven't had that kind of experience, this is a great place to do energy healing and to not dismiss the woo woo, but just not the out of hand woo woo, whatever that means.